Hello and welcome to another episode of Douglasville Impact, our community podcast. And we're coming at you this week with a great show with a lot of information and an awesome special guest. So let's go ahead and jump in and introduce everybody on the screen. Joining us again on this episode is our city webmaster, Mr. Chris Dixon. Joining us is our new community outreach coordinator, Miss Emily Hardaway.
Hi.
And joining us for the first time as a guest on the podcast is our new Douglas County School System Police Chief, Tracey Whaley. Did I get that right?
You did. Hello.
That's the official title?
Yes.
Awesome. So you're going to tell us all about you and all about the school system's new police force and stuff that you guys are rolling out. So that'll be awesome to talk about. Awesome. All right. Well, let's jump into some news and events and see what all we got going on. Who wants to start? Chris, you want to start with us since you're in the
upper corner here?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to start. I'm going to do news, and we'll start with the oldest news first, but still some really, really big news, and that
really big news
is coming to Douglasville.
That was really exciting. Big news.
Yes. They're going to build a new whole complex here that is called East US 3 is the data center. And so we're glad to have Microsoft here. And, of course, the mayor was very welcoming and said that she's looking very forward to them being a good community partner here in Douglasville. So welcome, Microsoft.
That's awesome. Yeah, as they join our kind of our cloud community down there in the cloud corridor, we've got a bunch of them down there. These kind of server farms, but it's nice to have one that everybody has heard of.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's nice to put a name, with the establishment. So everybody's heard of Microsoft. So that was nice. That was a big one. So yeah, it'd be awesome to have them. Great community partners as well. So we'll see what all they do.
Absolutely. Then we have Keep Douglasville Beautiful back on Arbor Day, which was a week or so ago, I guess. They did a tree planting at the Mill Village Community Gardens. And they planted a couple of fruit trees. Let's see what it was that they planted. Well, it doesn't say there, but it was a couple of some fruit trees, and that was going to be part of the Atlanta Local Food Initiative.
Right.
And that's to combat the food desert. Mm-hmm. Food deserts. Yeah. Yep. So we're glad to have that.
It's looking nice over there at the community garden, right? They did the fence for MLK Day, and now they've done the tree plantings and stuff. So yeah, it's community gardens really coming along over there.
Yeah, it's exciting to see it expand for sure.
Oh yeah,
and see all the things that they're bringing. Definitely.
Yeah. And then with Mill Village Park just newly renovated and right around the corner. That's
an awesome park
nice
now.
As well. Yeah. All right, and then here's another thing going on at Mill Village Community Garden. We had a blessing box set up there with the group was called Live Life with Purpose International. And they set this blessing box up. It's kind of like a lending library box where you place food in there when you have surplus, and if you need food, you take food out of there. So Keep Douglasville Beautiful just basically acts as the host for that at their community garden. But, of course, that's a wonderful thing to have in the community, and we are very thankful for that.
Yeah, it was an awesome-looking little box. Yeah, it looked like the little lending library boxes with all the books you see all around town now and stuff. But, yeah, this one's got bottled water, non-perishable food, things like that. So if there's anybody in need, it's just there and available. But it's also an opportunity if you've got if you want to donate, you just find it and fill it.
Of course, non-perishable things.
Non-perishable items.
Right.
But
Right.
There's lots of stuff that meets that criteria. So
yeah, that was really cool.
That was.
Yeah.
And then we also have the City of Douglasville Summer Internship Program coming up, and you can find all that information on our website as to how you can apply for those. There's openings in the finance department, in the best overall community relations department.
We're not biased.
No, not at all. Parks and Recreation, Community Development, Engineering, Human Resources, and Public Services are all areas that are going to have interns here at the city of Douglasville this summer. So
Nice.
it's a great way for some recent graduates to get some good work experience. Or
Absolutely.
almost graduates, I guess, right?
Yeah. Very cool.
All right, and that's it for my news. I think Emily has a couple of things. So.
All right, cool. All right, Emily, what you got?
Do yes.
Welcome,
So-
by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. So I have a couple of exciting things to talk about. The first thing, so I don't know if everybody has seen, but the Cobb Douglas Public Health has opened a mass vaccine center at the Sears at Arbor Place Mall. And so it's basically a drive-through mass vaccine site. And basically, they're hoping that they can vaccinate between 800 to 1,000 people a day, which is great and exciting news. And so the site uses the Moderna vaccine. So to get more information on if you're eligible and signing up for appointments and things like that, you can just go to the Cobb Douglas County Public Health website and you can check it out. And if you're eligible, you can sign up and do all that fun stuff. So
And
that's
there's also a
excellent
link
news.
on our website to that as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's nice that they were able to set up this kind of drive through, and it's great that the mall is offering up the space, to make it available for the public, for them to set up this drive through so
Oh,
they
yeah.
can get people through really quick. So I guess at this point they're just limited by the number of vaccines they can get on hand.
Right.
So which is good because I think they're also starting next week, they're expanding that eligibility requirement expands, I think, starting next week to
Yes.
teachers, actually, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. So
Yeah. So like the K through 12, teachers and stuff will be eligible in that next phase of eligibility. So when that opens up, and now you also have a place on the website where you can go and find out if you're not eligible now, you can sign up for alerts when you are eligible, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's right.
yeah. And so there's actually a new website that was created by Governor Kemp's office called myvaccinegeorgia.com. And so if you're not eligible yet, you can register to get updates on when new eligibility comes out, things like that. You can also, if you are eligible, you can go ahead and pre-register for the vaccine, and they will send you an email or updates as appointments become available and that kind of thing. So that's another exciting thing related to the vaccine that that everybody should be aware of for sure.
That's super nice because I think we've learned over the past year, just dealing with COVID in general and the testing and the constantly changing guidelines and requirements and eligibility for even the testing and stuff, that it's always changing. So having one
Exactly.
place you can go and just sign up and say, all right, just send me a notification when I'm eligible.
Right.
Exactly. It makes it easy. It makes
Make it
it
easy.
simple and easy.
Tell me when I can come.
Exactly. You just let me
No,
know
You
and
let
I'll
me.
be there.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
myvaccinegeorgia.com. Is that correct?
myvaccinegeorgia.com. Yes. Yeah. So some very exciting vaccination related news. So that's great. We do have an event coming up on April 24th. It's the DEA pill take back day at the police department. So basically, no questions asked, no forms, no ID required. Basically, you just come to the police public safety off Fairburn Road building, and you drop off any pills that are left over, expired, anything like that.
Yeah.
They will not be able to take sharps or inhalers at the event,
Yeah.
but anything else like pills or anything like that they will take. So
Sometimes they do, just depends on what their setup is each event, because they do these, it feels like once or twice a year. They do it, it's kind of in partnership with the DEA. So agencies all over will kind of have these DA bill take backs, but they're important because those old and expired drugs, they eventually work their way to the hands of kids, children,
Right.
or who knows, if once they leave your medicine box, if you just throw them away, they end up somewhere else. And they don't
Exactly,
always end up
yeah.
where they should be. They end up in the wrong place and in the wrong hands. You end up with kids accidentally, taking something wrong and whatnot. So this is just a way, if you've got old expired stuff or just stuff that, you're not taking anymore, this is a good way to just clear out your medicine cabinet and do it safe and to make sure everybody in your family is still safe, because it's not just, random drugs sitting around.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Prescription drugs and things like that can do a lot of harm for the wrong person, So this is
Yes.
a great option, just to go and get rid of them cleanly, safely, and dispose of it in the way it should be. So
Exactly. Yeah. And so the last thing I have is very exciting announcement.
Ooh.
As you all know, we recently wrapped up our Keep Douglasville Beautiful mascot naming contest. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I
Okay.
believe now is the time to announce the winner.
yeah, the newest KDB board member.
Yes, the official mascot for KDB, Keep Douglasville Beautiful, is Bo DeVille, short for Douglasville. So Bo DeVille.
Bo DeVille.
So there you go. So no relation. No.
Copyright doesn't allow us to even say that name.
Right, exactly. So, no. But we are so excited to welcome Bo to the Douglasville family. And so you can expect to start seeing Bo pop up
Everywhere.
And I'm very excited because he is such a cute little fox.
Little fox.
So, yes.
Smart as a
So congratulations to you, Bo. We are excited to have you here at the city of Douglasville.
Yeah. You'll start seeing Bo pop up all over the place over on our website and social media with some tips and tricks on how to, reduce waste and, reuse and reduce and recycle and all those good things. So he's going to have a lot of good tips and stuff. Really pushing our Keep Douglasville Beautiful,
Yes.
ideas. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
Very
Is that all
exciting.
your fun news?
Yes.
All
That's all the news I had for today.
All right. Well, that wraps up all of our news section then, and that's going to bring us to Mr. Whaley. And all right, so Chief Tracey Whaley is the first police chief for a newly established Douglas County School System police force, right? Is that make sure I'm getting all the terminology right.
Yes, you're right.
So tell us, let's just start off, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you ended up here.
Well, I am a Georgia native. I was born and raised in Covington, Georgia. I graduate of Savannah State University down in Savannah. I started in law enforcement with the Atlanta Police Department long time ago, just before the Olympics. And I stayed there for about 10 and a half years, and then I retired early. Spent a couple of years in corporate America. And then I came back to law enforcement and worked with another metro area school district as a resource officer, because that allowed me to, be a family man, to be a husband and a father, and to see my kids every evening and things like that. And I stuck with school resource officer, working in the schools, because it was better for my family, but also it allowed me the opportunity to help people, to make a difference. And just prior to coming here to Douglasville, I worked with Clayton County Schools. So just being able to engage on the school level is pretty exciting.
Yeah. And those school resource officers are an awesome asset for a school to have, just not necessarily there's always bad things happening and they need an officer on site, but just as that kind of role model, just to be able to see an officer that they can relate to, and an officer that is not, busting them for something, that's just there in their everyday life they can kind of connect with and stuff. So tell us a little bit about, this is a new force that has been established by the school system. So tell us a little bit about that, what the thought process was there and what you guys have built for this new school system force.
Well, it started with the Board of Education making a resolution on February the 3rd of last year to create a police department. And after that, they went through a process of hiring myself. And it was a long process because COVID hit right in the middle of that. March 13th of last year changed everything for everyone. But in the midst of that, the board had already committed to starting the police department, and the board and the superintendent, Mr. Trent North, saw fit to continue with that. And then they hired me back in May 7th of last year. So it started with me being hired, but then after that, we had to go about the process of finding and hiring a group of what I think are the best school resource officers in the state. And I mean, I think I've got a great group of people, 26 SROs, and then supervisors included. It makes a total of 30, and then myself. So we've got people who have worked in the area, people who live in the area, who decided that they wanted to do the same thing I made a decision to do several years ago, which is to be a part of the school system as part of the solution and part of the process to help students.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you guys have officers dedicated to specific schools? Or do you rotate around? Or
we do. We have officers assigned to the high schools, the middle schools, and we have officers assigned to most elementary schools. And every elementary school is engaged by an SRO every day.
Nice. So they're there and they're that present. They're that consistent presence. I remember when I was in school, it was the same officer that was at our school. I don't remember his real name. His name was Smurf. Everybody called him Smurf. That was his name. But he was there every day. So he got to know the kids got to know him. There was a relationship there, which helped because, a lot of times all kids see is it's a lot of times law enforcement is an us versus them kind of mentality, So it's great when you can build those relationships where kids see an officer on a regular basis and realize, hey, that's just a normal guy that we can relate to and connect with. So it's nice to have that in the kids' lives, right? Yes. And then if something does go down, you're also there.
Yeah, it gives us a chance to write the narrative. I mean, and what you alluded to is that most people only engage with the police at the worst time in their lives. If you get pulled over, I don't care if you get pulled over 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, it's still the worst time in your life. If there's an incident in your community, if there's an incident in your home, if there's an incident in your family, that is the worst time of your life. We call that a crisis. That's typically when people see police officers. But our model, we wanted the police officers to engage the students every day. So the students know, just as you said, this person is a real person. Now, I'll give you guys one guess as to when I was a school resource officer in schools, what my nickname was. That's just one guess you get. But that meant that they had a relationship with me. And I tell you what I found out is that a lot of kids were willing to talk to me when they wouldn't talk to other staff members. A lot of kids are willing to talk to the SROs that are in our schools here in Douglas County when they're not willing to talk to other staff members. And that's the key. We're here to help.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
And that fits right in with Chief Sparks and Sheriff Pounds' philosophies of one with the community as well.
And I tell you, as part of the process, and I give credit to the superintendent and to the board, as part of the process, they engaged with the sheriff and they engaged with Chief Sparks, so much so that the two of them interviewed me as part of the process. And they had to sign off on me being hired into this position. And, and while we sat there and we spoke during that time, we got to know each other, but I also promised them that we would partner together. And that's why you were able to see us all together at the Day of Unity there, because we're all part of the community. We have different assignments, but we're all here for Douglas County, for Douglasville, for our families that we serve.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And we have a couple of forces in the community that work together so well. The police force and the sheriff's department, they work together so well. It's not always been the case. We're at a time in our community where they get along and they coordinate so well together, and they're able to serve the community together. So it's great, and that makes their jobs so much easier when that's the case. And again, their mission, together, they're kind of, they've both agreed that their mission is to connect with the community, that community-based policing, to where it's not the only interaction you're having with me is when I'm pulling you over. Because the police chief, he's specific. He wants you out in the community. He wants you out of your car. He wants you walking around, meeting people, shaking hands, getting to know people in the community. So when there's a need, they don't have a problem coming and coming to you. It's not just during those bad times. So you guys get to take that to the next level and actually start it earlier. So we've got all these programs, the DCOP program, which is the Douglasville Community Outreach Program, where the chief takes officers into communities and into neighborhoods, and they go door to door and they do meet and greets, just trying to put names and faces with the officers to break down that stigma of, us versus them. You guys are able to start that at the younger age, which is also helpful because now you don't have kids who are growing up with that mentality.
Yes.
So you guys are like on the front line, getting them while they're young, just to, and introducing the idea that, we are servants here to help and keep people safe and to help people, so that's great. And it's good. It's important that you guys are all three as organizations now working together with that same kind of mission and goal in mind. So it's a great thing for our community, I think, all around. So
yeah, I think so. And you said the perfect word. You said servants, but that means that we're here to serve. We're here to work on behalf of the people in the community, because without the community, without the students, we are not an entity.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're dealing with some special things right now with COVID, because you got schools that are, dealing with, whether to be in person and whether to be virtual, and which ones are, hybrids and things like that. So you have some special challenges specific to the world that we currently live in. So is there anything like that you've had to deal with that's made it difficult, just trying to start everything out and then having to deal with the weird COVID world that we live in right now?
Yes, because when we started, it was in the midst of COVID. And if you remember, those were the times when none of us knew what to do. We didn't know what we could touch. We didn't know what we couldn't touch. We didn't know where we could go. We didn't know whether to wear a mask, not to wear a mask. And then we learned to wear masks. And now, we're at the point where we have the vaccine. We started in the midst of all of that.
Yeah.
But I think it speaks to the resiliency and the determination of the people who chose to come and work with us, as well as the people who chose us to say that we're going to do this because we want to go forward, engaging as servants like we're supposed to. So it was tough in the beginning, and there are some challenges. There are different challenges that come up because of COVID every day, but you kind of learn to roll with the punches and to keep moving.
Absolutely. So were you guys established at the beginning of this school year?
Yes, all of the SROs were hired by July 15th, and we had we had summer graduations at stadiums on July 21st and 22nd. And then when school started in August, we were all in place.
Nice. So you've had an interesting first year, because it's been a weird first year for everyone.
Very much so. Very much so.
I guess we're technically approaching the end of your first year then. So any insights of your first year? Any big takeaways that you've learned or anything over the first year that you know what, this is something we've had to deal with? Maybe next year we'll do something a little different or anything?
We're just looking forward to, with the vaccine coming out, just like everybody, with the vaccines coming and now we understand better what we're dealing with, getting back to something closer to normal. Where we can be friends again. Like, I like you guys, but I'd love to be in person. We'd
Yes.
love to
Yeah.
be in person and engage with people and not just the screen. That's really what we're
Absolutely.
looking forward to. And one thing I know that our students are looking forward to that. They're looking forward to an opportunity to see their friends and to be friendly. So we're looking forward to an opportunity to give them a chance to do that.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. Well, it's awesome that I think it's great that you guys are there and the job that you guys are doing. I'm glad they found you to fill that position. It sounds like you found somebody who's got the same mindset as the rest of our public safety community and really, engaging and connecting with the community. So that is awesome. Is there anything else that you want to leave us with or tell people about, the school resource officers or what you guys might be doing before we start to wrap up?
Yeah, I want to let everyone know that we're more than just police officers. We're a resource. We're there to engage along with the school staff to be part of a solution that helps kids have a safe and nurturing environment. But I also want to highlight some things that we've done. The officers took it upon themselves to pick up the Shop with a Cop program. It wasn't funded this year because COVID changed so many things. So they went about the task of engaging community members to donate the funds so that we could have the Shop with a Cop program. With those same officers took it upon themselves to put together approximately 80 Thanksgiving meals to give to families in our community. And that goes to show that we're here to serve, we're here to be part of the community and to do what we can to help the community continue on. I mean, I think that Douglas County as a whole is a great community. And we just want to make sure that we're doing our part to help it continue.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And it's great to be able to start with the kids. You're impacting the kids, you're impacting the whole family by doing that. And that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, we just thank you for doing what you're doing. We thank you for the work and the service that you are doing, impacting the kids in our community and the families in our community. And if there's anything we can do to help, always let us know. We do appreciate you. Unless there's anything else you guys want to close with?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for joining us.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
And have a great day.
All right. Well, thank everybody for listening, for watching and tuning in. And thank you, Chris. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Chief Whaley, for all you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you. And we will see you guys next time on Douglasville Impact. Have a good week.
Bye.